Hello everyone, Aaron Bowen here for the third video of our 6-video series, building upon the idea presented in the last video that searching for information is a process of strategic exploration. I'm going to now turn away from the web and instead employ a database to find relevant, authoritative, and useful information. And I say away from the web because there is a distinction between information that you could find on the free web, like I have used in the previous 2 videos, and information that you can get through the library's databases. I know that's confusing because it is all accessed through a web browser, but the journal literature indexed in the library databases is not available on the web for free. It is published by different publishing houses and put indexed in databases and then made accessible through these databases, which different database vendors they have licenses with publishers to get the content into the database in the first place, but then they sign license agreements with libraries like us so that we can pay them some money, and as a result get access to these databases, and then turn around and open them up to all of you as WSU students. What that all means is that the database literature is behind a paywall that the university has taken care of on our behalf. Google can't touch the content in these databases. As a general rule, all they're going to be able to do is provide an abstract to an article and then link you to the publisher's website where you can buy a copy of the article. Actually, you don't have to do that. You can get much of the world of scholarly literature through our library databases and through our library services at no cost to you. The primary mode of access to that world of information is through our collection of databases, but it's important to note that when we talk about database literature or scholarly literature or academic publications, that is separate and distinct from the kind of information that you access over the web, even though in many cases you access all of it through a web browser. So, given this week's discussion topic, should governments invest more in building and supporting the public health workforce and infrastructure to ensure effective functioning of health systems? Given that discussion topic, I will use the CINAHL database to demonstrate a search. CINAHL stands for Comprehensive Index of Nursing and Allied Health Literature. It's one of the 2 main nursing databases that we have available in the WSU University Libraries collection. It's also important to note that different databases have different scopes of coverage. What I find in CINAHL will differ at least a bit from what I find in ProQuest Nursing and Allied Health. This will be different from what I find in PubMed or Medline. And given the governmental focus of this week's topic, I might even want to do a major gear shift and try searching Nexus Uni or Hein Online, which are a pair of databases covering different aspects of government and political science. No one database, not even Smart Search, like we have on the library webpage here, not even Smart Search, covers the full breadth of information we offer to you. And while some databases will be better suited to your research questions than others, it's often worth searching several different databases to give yourself the maximum range of relevant information in addressing your research question. The Public Health Science Library Guide offers multiple databases relevant to different aspects of public health science. You can get to this guide from our library homepage. Click on Research Guides, View Subject Guides, and then Public Health right there. And Public Health again. Find articles gives you a list of different databases relevant to the field of public health science. Right down there, you can read the text describing each and see how they differ from each other and get a sense of what scopes of coverage of the academic scholarly literature each one offers. Now, remember, we have this secondary guide here linked from the list of databases offering search strategy tips and tricks. There it is. I won't do a full run-through of all of the different tips and tricks now, but I'll remind you about truncation, the practice of taking a root word and adding an asterisk to allow for any possible suffix to be added to that root word. The example that I mentioned to you guys in class was psych asterisk, which allows me to search psychology, psychiatry, psychologist, psychiatrist, psychiatric, all of those words at once, just with the root word psych and then the asterisk for as a truncation tool. Those different search tips and tricks are under Broaden or Narrow Your Search, which is under the Getting Started with Research tab on the Health Science Research Strategies Guide. You can go through the rest of it yourselves and get a refresher on the mechanics of how to go about searching a database. If I take what government incentives have been effective in attracting students to public health programs in the United States as my research question, what I can do is open CINAHL up. When you come in from off campus, click the database link, and then you'll get an intermediary screen asking for your WSU ID and your password. Enter that, and the database comes up just as if you were on campus. So, taking that sample research question, I can type in, I can pull the keywords of government, incentives, health education, and United States out of it, and then plug them into the database here. As you can see, I could try government policy, government regulation. There are a number of different potential terms I can try. I'll include the asterisk, so government and anything that can possibly follow government. Incentive, oops, C-E-N-T-I, there, incentive asterisk, So I'll search incentive or incentives, plural, and health education. I could try health care education. There are a number of different terms I can put in right there. I recommend thinking up as many synonyms as possible to the keywords that you choose, just to give yourself the maximum body of literature to look at and decide from what you want to incorporate into your own coursework. Just to make sure that you have covered all your bases, you have seen everything that you deem relevant from the body of scholarly literature. If you need help coming up with synonyms, you can use the CINAHL headings right up here in the blue menu bar at the top of the database. That allows me to browse for, say, healthcare, browse, okay, education, healthcare education. You can search it as a keyword, but it does not have its own subject heading. Education, comma, non-traditional, education, comma, nursing, education, comma, something. There are a bunch of terms like that. But I can also back up and try just health education. Health education is a subject term. Student health education is its own subject term. So I can get a sense of possible synonyms for my terms and get a sense of how the database indexes the literature that it indexes. Beyond that, I want peer-reviewed information specifically. As a reminder, the peer review process, if I write an article, submit it to the editor of a peer-reviewed journal, that editor will give it out to 2 to 3 blind peer reviewers who are authoritative voices in the field in some capacity. The reviewers write back to the editor and offer their feedback on my article, and the editor makes a decision to publish or not publish it, based in part upon the reviewer's feedback. It leads to a stronger level of authority behind the information published in peer-reviewed journals. Scholarly journals and academic journals are kind of all synonymous terms to peer-reviewed journals. So, I've set my search up. I've limited it to peer review. Search. And I get 32 results. Now, something I will do right out the gate is move the date slider bar to the most recent 10 years. That knocks it down to 25 search results. The second one here, community benefit spending by not-for-profit hospitals prior to the implementation of the ACA. The Affordable Care Act is definitely going to be huge, given the research question that I posed. So I may want to come back at a later point and revise my search strategy to more directly focus on the ACA and see what kind of information a search along those lines yields. For now, I can look at these search results, and I look at number 3, number 4, on down to number 9, and I see Canada, Tanzania, India, Malawi, the Arab Gulf region. So I say, okay, well, the United States is an obviously relevant keyword to my search now. So I'll go back up, and I add United States. I get 4 search results. The Affordable Care Act article, and then 3 others that I look at and think, no, I'm not so sure exactly how relevant they are to the kind of information that I'm looking for. I've constructed a search that narrowed the results set down too far. So, what can I do to broaden it? Well, I could try taking out incentive, government and health education, and United States in the peer-reviewed literature from 2008 on. That gets me 267 results. Student Practicum as a Bridge to Government Public Health Practice, a survey of schools and programs of public health. That looks relevant. And if I scroll further down, the 11th result, Public Health Nurses Graduate Education Decision-Making Processes. Yeah, that's probably relevant to my research question. But 2 articles out of the first 11. This search is finding some useful info, but it's not great. So, I'll adjust it even further. Say I take health out. Oh, come on. So, government and education in the United States, and I'll put incentive back in. 19 search results. Scrolling through them, I'm still seeing a lot of stuff that doesn't really excite me, but I did get down to the 14th and 15th articles. Critical examination of the U.S. nursing shortage, contributing factors and public policy implications, interprofessional consensus of core competencies for pre-licensure education in pain management, curriculum application for nursing. Those 2 articles might well be relevant in the literature review that I am building. So as you can see, searching a database is not always the quickest way to search, but it yields the best targeted information, and the amount of control that you have over your search, from the date range to filtering out non-peer-reviewed literature to being able to add multiple search bars and anding search terms together. This is a huge amount of control that you have over the construction of your search process. Certainly more than Google or Google Scholar allows you. So this using databases like this can offer you the best tailored, most authoritative set of information that you have available at your fingertips. And yeah, you may want to try Googling your terms as well, see what comes up. It's always worth it to see what information is on the web, but as a general rule, your instructors are going to want you to look for the peer-reviewed article information as the source material for the work that you turn in class. Now, some of you might have noticed that the 15th article here has no full text immediately available. What I can do is click this 360 button here, and in this case, a ProQuest database has the full text PDF of that article. I'm going to guess this is ProQuest Nursing and Allied Health, the other big nursing database that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. What's going on here is CINAHL does not have the full text of this article. ProQuest does. So the 360 button pushed me out of CINAHL into the ProQuest database so that I could get the full text of the article. There it is coming up, and I can download it from here if I would like. The 360 button, on rare occasions, gives you a dialog box saying we don't have electronic access to this article, but we do have it in print. Here's the call number, and then you can note the call number down and the article's volume and issue numbers and the journal that published it, all the bibliographic information. You can come find it in the library in print and copy it. You may also get a notice saying, sorry, online full text is not available. But if you get that notice, a little further down the screen you have a link to Interlibrary Loan. You can click that link. It's titled Iliad. The ILL in Iliad stands for Interlibrary Loan. You can click that link, and when you come in from a database this way, the Interlibrary Loan form automatically has all the articles, publication information supplied for you. You can just place an interlibrary loan request quickly, and the Interlibrary Loan Office will go out and get a copy of the article for you. If it's an article or a book chapter, anything that can be delivered as a PDF, it takes a day or less. Books and DVDs will take a little bit longer because you have shipping time, but anything that can be delivered electronically, a day or less, sometimes as little as 2 hours. And they'll send you an email when it comes in. So, given the beginnings of a literature review of relevant articles to this research question, from here I can read these articles, think about them, and synthesize their information into a statement or an argument that I formalize into my paper that I turn into my instructor. That becomes my contribution to the scholarly conversation, in this case on the role of the government in attracting health science students to the health sciences. As I said in class, this conversation, the research forming this conversation, is what makes for the transfer of information around different fields of study. And your contribution to this conversation may stay within the classroom, or it may not. You are always welcome to try giving it a bigger and broader stage. I mentioned the Undergraduate Research and Creative Activities Forum in class, ERCAF, the juried research competition every April where undergraduate students from all over the university submit research that they have completed over the year, and it attracts a huge crowd of faculty, staff, and students. And everyone comes away from the ERCAF forum saying, we have some really talented students here. They engage in some really interesting and useful and valuable research. And you might even want to submit a paper to a conference or to a journal for publication yourself. And who knows, someone may come along and read that paper and then cite you, incorporate your work into their own thinking about one research question or another. That is the main way that you can go about conducting database research. There are all kinds of further tweaks that I could show you how to make. But those are the basics of database searching. From here, you have a world of information available at your fingertips, so go forth and find some good sources that help you address questions within the field of public health science. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Contact information on the public health guide in this case. It's also on the HP 105 guide. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.